And this is Tony Reid, an Auckland boy who spent a lot of time surfing up north in the 1960s and 70s. In fact, sort of became recognised, if you like, as one of the honorary locals. Tony is also known for his surf shop near the freeway at Albany in Auckland. I mean, you may have driven past it at some time and seen it from the road. It's a pretty nice setup he had there. He even made me an espresso coffee once, which I was quite impressed about. But he also had a ton of very cool local photos and, you know, very, very nice surfboards and those sort of things. It was a very classy sort of shop. So here's my interview with him. Now stick that cigar in your mouth. Give us a bit of a puff. Just now this is well, I call him Ant, and I always thought Ant was because he was a little guy. That's where I remember the name Ant. I didn't realise it about 2 years ago it was short for Anthony.
That's right. Yeah.
And here's Anthony, and he is, well, Ant, he's just turned 60, so he's still a young bloke.
Yeah.
So, okay. Now, tell me, when you went up to Waipu first time, what year was that?
Waipu would have been approximately 65, 66.
Oh, was it that time? Okay, yeah. I remember everybody thought you were a pretty hot surfer, Goofyfoot.
Yeah?
Yeah, all the locals.
First I've heard about it.
Yeah, the locals did. So who did you know up there, the locals?
Oh, Whangarei guys.
Yeah.
Well, you of course. And,
yeah.
Colin Lowe, Johnny Ayton.
Okay, you knew all those guys, yeah.
Yeah. And of course, later on, Gant was living up there.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, known Gant pretty well.
Yeah, yeah.
And him, Roger Crisp, and Graham Allen started supersetting.
That's right.
There,
Yeah.
which that was a really cool little factory. That.
Oh, it was a great little factory. I worked there for a little while too,
Did you?
Sanding. Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, everybody does sanding, I think.
Yeah.
He then began telling me about this really cool cord surfboard. For who?
Huh?
Who's the guy?
What guy?
The guy that's got the cord.
Me.
Oh, it's yours?
Yeah.
Oh, one of yours. Ah.
Yeah, I got it 12, 13 years ago. Bought it off a guy who came into the store and wanted to sell it. And I recognised it and called Wayne and said, "Hey, I got your old board here, do you want it?" He said, "No, not interested." So I bought it. And yeah, he had two that he bought back in '66. This one, which was sort of a burnt pink colour with a cloth band on the deck.
Yeah.
And another one that I think he said was sort of a tan and orange or something. And McTavish shaped them both for Wayne, and he surfed them, I think, mainly Port Cartwright.
Oh yeah, I remember those. Yeah.
Yeah, both cords, and they were the first two kind of fin rails. With the Greeno fin that came in, and then of course Wayne started shaping the Atlas fin rails locally.
Yeah, that's right.
That's kind of when it all started. So with the the shortboard revolution, but
yeah, well, I was in WA about 15 years ago, and some guy rocked up with one of Wayne's old boards.
Yeah.
It had a like a Japanese sort of flag type thing on the bottom of it.
Multicoloured?
Yeah, multicoloured. Perfect,
that.
Absolute perfect condition.
Yeah?
Yeah, perfect condition. The guy still got it. In fact, here it is. Ex-Auckland boy Peter Dunn bought it off him, and I remember Wayne surfing this board in the late 60s sometime. Over in WA, I thought of buying it off him and bringing it back to Wayne, but like you were saying now, Wayne's not really interested in his old board, so...
Well, he wasn't interested in the cord, 12, 15 years ago, but he's become more interested.
Yeah, I can imagine that.
I think when he realised that they're actually worth a few dollars these days.
Oh, is that right? Oh, gee.
Yeah. Anyways,
he's not nostalgic.
Not particularly. He's always been more focused on where he's going to from here, not where he's been.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it had been recolour-coded in a sort of a pale yellow, so we disked all that off and got back to the original and went round, fixed all the dings, faired it up. The fin had been mucked around with, so in fact I was down there today cutting glass panels. We're going to do a layup to replicate the original fin.
Ah.
I mean, it had the original fin in it, but somebody had like carved it back out.
Oh, that's a shame.
So, but he's got, you know, all those old templates.
Are you riding those old boards, are you?
No, I've got an 8-foot Parksy.
Yeah.
Which I've had for a long time.
Yeah.
Serves really nicely. And I just bought a new 7-footer, which I haven't ridden yet. I'm sort of saving it for somewhere like Wananaki Bar when it's about head high class.
Oh yeah, you're lucky.
Yeah. I'll be lucky.
Be lucky to get that place on. Wananaki Bar, 7 foot.
Well, in the last sort of 18 months I've surfed it 5 times.
Have you?
And only once was there anyone else in the water except the 3 of us that went up.
Ah, great.
I mean, not big, you know, maybe sort of waist to shoulder, head high. But
are you getting up all right? You managed to get up on your board all right?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Well, am I looking a bit...
Well, I can't, mate. I can't get up. Most of us can't. We're either too fat or buggered knees or something, you know. I've really had to work hard for the last 6 months to try and lose weight, and I got a new knee and all that sort of stuff.
No, I've been pretty good, really.
You've always been pretty fit though, haven't you?
Reasonably. The worst I ever got was when I had the longboard shop for 12 years. I used to spend, 6-7 days a week behind a counter.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, that was horrible. But,
was it? You didn't like that shop?
Well, I liked it, but, after a while, working 6 and 7 days a week, it doesn't matter what you're doing.
Yeah, that's right, exactly.
Yeah, especially when you're sitting there and everybody's coming in saying, man, just had a great surf at X, Y, Z.
Yeah, that's right, exactly.
So,
So you went up there in '65 up to Waipu Cove, and
yeah, around about then. I started surfing on Christmas, end of 1963.
Right.
The first place I ever surfed actually was Long Beach at Russell.
Ah.
Used to go up there on holidays, Christmas holidays,
Yeah.
and I remember going down the beach, and there was this old guy. He must have been at least 15. His name was Dean, and he had bleached blonde hair and a red mouth, big thick rail, bright red with black footprints up the deck. And I said, "Oh, can I borrow your board?" And he goes, "All right, but don't ding it." And I didn't know what that meant, but I figured it, don't damage it. And paddled out, turned around, caught a wave, stood up, and sort of, it was only a foot and a half or something. But that was it.
Right. Who'd you used to go up with then? Up north with from Auckland?
Well, at that time I was just on my own.
Oh,
just went up with the family. And in fact, the first other person I used to surf with was a girl. She was maybe a couple of years older than me, and she had a surfboard.
Yeah.
She didn't really surf very much, but actually 2 girls. There was another girl who would have been quite a lot older than me. I mean, you've got to bear in mind I'm like 13, and she would have been like 18.
Yeah.
And she was from the mountain. She was really nice. But
what was her name? First name?
No.
Oh, well, she was from the mountain. But
a lot of stuff doesn't really download like it used to. But Erin Glanville was the one who had the board, but didn't really surf it a lot.
Right,
I probably ended up surfing her board more than she did.
Okay.
And the girl from the Mount, Alexis.
Alexis.
Someone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you know Billy Carson and all those guys and Al McIntosh?
Billy Carson, Crockett.
He's dead now, I heard.
Is he?
Yeah. So I was told recently, but they're all dying off.
Well, do you know Gordy and Brian Harrison?
Yeah.
2 Americans?
Yeah.
Well, Gordy died, I don't know, a couple of years ago, and I just heard today of Phil Jennison that Brian died like yesterday.
Oh, really?
Out surfing, had a heart attack, gone.
Wow.
Yeah. Another guy, Jeff Bickerstaff, he died, about 3 weeks ago. He was,
wow.
He was young. Well, I think he was only like 51 or something.
Yeah, gee.
So, of course, both the Gants are gone, Jim and Graham.
Oh, Graham's gone too. Gee. Man, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Tony began to reflect on some of the good surfers in those days, and he gave pretty high praise to Johnny Ayton here.
And man, was he a good surfer, and still is from what I get.
He is still a good surfer, yeah.
But I remember seeing Johnny on It was a 4'11" currency.
Yeah.
It was only 4'11" because of 3 inches had snapped off the tip of the nose. It had been a 5 foot. Two or three or something. Single fin, and he was at Waipu. It was onshore, high tide, and I was up on the bank watching him, and he takes off on this peak and sort of surfs down, fades right, and then just jams this big bottom turn and went right the way around, full rail turn.
Wow,
on a single fin. And he gets to the top where he could have just pulled it down, but he looked over his shoulder and sort of set and flipped out. But yeah, man, he was a very, very good surfer.
Yeah, he was a very good surfer. And you're talking about Dak was a good surfer too.
Yeah, Dak, he always struck me as a fairly sort of quiet guy.
Yeah, he was, kept himself, I
remember him again at Waipu, dropping down, reasonable sized 6 foot peaks, and he'd sort of come down the wave and he'd go way out in front on flat water and then lay it over.
Yeah.
Really beautiful bottom turn.
Yeah.
Colin was good. Colin was always a pretty solid guy.
Yeah, he was.
You'd see him punch bottom turns, and he'd bury half the board. He wouldn't be surfing off the tail. It's like the whole side of the board again. Off here you go.
Well, I mean, you were a good. Everybody regarded you as a good surfer up there because, I mean, goofy footers have sort of got something special about them, fortunately for you.
Of course, all goofy footers.
I mean, they look good. Wayne Lynch and all those sort of guys. I mean, just goofy footers just look good. Dave Green, I don't know if you remember Dave Green. He was Dave Green. He was a goofy foot from Auckland. He maybe a little bit before your time, but he was a great great stylist, as a goofy foot. And you were a good stylist too, So I'd like to have had some footage of you, when you were surfing, because a lot of you guys from Auckland that came up really sort of inspired us, with your way you surfed.
A little bit later on, but Gant was a good surfer.
Yeah, Gant was great.
Very good surfer. Natural foot, but man, I've seen him do some amazing things.
Oh yeah.
But I remember the first time I ever surfed Whananaki Bar. I think we went out with like Gant and Fry and John.
Who's Fry? Fry who?
Graham Kelly.
Oh, Graham Kelly. Okay,
He still lives at Pātau now.
Oh, does he?
Has done for.
Oh, of course, Graham. Yeah. Leather maker. Yeah, Graham. Yeah.
Well, he's a pastor with Whangarei.
That's right.
Fellowship.
Yeah, he has been for years. Yeah.
But going up there, and the first time I surfed Whananaki Bar, I thought I'd died and gone to heaven.
Yeah, it's a great wave, isn't it? Beautiful wave.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And as I said before, I've surfed it probably in the last 18 months. I've surfed it 5 times.
Yeah.
Not big, sort of waist to head high.
Yeah.
But just the 3 of us out that went there.
Yeah, great stuff.
It was fantastic.
So anybody else that you can remember that were, ripped up there?
Up that way, well, Clive Smart.
Clive Smart,
Clive was a pretty good surfer.
Yeah, he was, What about Huck? Did you know Huck?
Know the name, I didn't sort of know.
He came down and he worked for Atlas Woods for a while. He was a finish coater.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of guys you heard the name, you'd sort of recognise them if you saw them. But,
yeah.
I used to surf a lot with Graham Gantley.
Yeah.
At one point.
Yeah.
And a little bit with Parksy. Wayne seemed to sort of, go off by himself or just him and another guy or something. Still does actually. But,
does he still surf or not?
Yeah.
He does.
Not super regularly.
No.
But, still a very good surfer.
Oh, he would be.
He's in his early to mid 60s. And
yeah, that's right.
Still pretty fit. Still doing martial arts as kung fu and stuff.
Yeah. Well, that helped him keep fit.
Yeah.
But he's got that metabolism too, where he doesn't put on weight, which helps.
Yeah.
But no, I think he was probably the number one. Always the number one. But you had a few run-ins with him when you had your shop. Yeah, I remember calling in there once, and he wasn't working too well with you on something.
Well, Wayne and I have. He's all right. He just, he has his moments.
Wayne's Wayne, mate. He's a unique person.
Absolutely. I tell you what, there'd be few people I've met who have got the integrity that Wayne's got.
Oh yeah.
really good like that.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
But he doesn't suffer fools gladly.
No, he doesn't. No, he sorts his friends out pretty quick, you know.
Yeah, no, got a lot of time for him.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
and Phil, you know, Phil Jamison.
Phil Jamison, yeah.
Phil's a good guy.
Yeah.
But,
Phil's still with him.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Actually, I used to surf quite a bit with Phil.
Did
He
you?
and I would quite often, and another guy, Aussie guy actually, who lives here, Mike Gardner, we used to go and surf Oriri.
Oh, yeah.
The three of us. And,
Yeah.
had some very good waves down there.
What year did you go onto shortboards? About 69?
No, earlier than that. I think the first sort of shorter single fins, because it went sort of the thin rails, then the stubbies, the V bottoms,
Yeah.
and then the trackers.
That's right. Yeah.
And then that's after the tracker, which didn't last long. I think the trackers were around for about 6 months.
Yeah, that's right.
They were too long
Yeah,
and
yeah,
narrow
yeah,
and tail.
yeah.
And then the first of what I would term the modern shortboard.
Yeah.
So I think that would have been 68. Might have been late 68, mid to late 68.
Yeah, yeah. What car were you driving then?
What
car were you driving?
I don't know that I had one then. I was a bit late in getting my own.
Ah, right, okay.
I think the first car I had it had been my great-grandfather's. It was a 1947 Austin 10. One of those cars they reckon never roll, they just fall over.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
But I think the first car I went out and bought was a 1948 Wolseley, 1885.
Wow.
In fact, the English police had used them.
Ah, okay.
Car, yeah.
The Wolseley,
Really
classy car, yeah.
Had a couple of big 15 Citroens, with the gear stick out of the dashboard.
Oh, yeah, they're great.
Grey special.
Yeah, the Citroens, yeah.
So
what year was it that you sort of dropped out, maybe got married and kind of...
what year did we get married? It would have been 78.
Oh, okay, so you kind of surfing and kind of bumming around till 78 and then got married, is it?
Yeah, more or less. I was 26 when I got married.
Okay.
Been married for 34 years.
34 years, well done. You got 2 kids.
Yeah.
How old are your kids?
Eldest one,
26.
Sam's 26.
Yep.
He will be in a few weeks, and Maddie will be 23 in a few weeks.
Right, okay, yeah.
Matt's surfing for a little bit.
Okay.
But,
Pass that heritage down to your kids like most of us did, that's good.
Well, Sam's into motorbikes.
Oh, yeah.
He's a motorbike mechanic, so he loves bikes.
Yeah,
Matt's a barman, so he works restaurants and runs a bar there. So, a lot of the time during the day he doesn't wake up till about 11 a.m. midday. He'll come out, if he can.
That's good.